across the country, and we're checking in with students who really kind of had enough of this, right? And that includes a freshman student here, Noam Woldenberg. Tell me just a little bit about what you think is going on in your campus. It's your first year. You were probably excited to come here. It's a great school to go to academically. What do you think about what's happening here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely disillusioned. I worked my ass off in high school to get here, and then I come here and I realize that, there really isn't any academic integrity. There's clearly a lack of morality, and I think the intellectual capabilities of the students here, were definitely overstated. It's definitely upsetting. I mean, last night there was complete anarchy. Students broke into Hamilton Hall. They broke a window. Then they barricaded the rooms. Then they actually abducted a maintenance worker. The maintenance worker then had to fend for himself and fight these students. These students also formed a human chain link around a Jewish student. They basically surrounded him. I mean, that's harassment in my book. That's harassment in any book. And it's really frustrating. It's very disheartening. When
you saw the video, I mean, when I woke up this morning and saw that action, you can see them using a hammer. I mean, they were also had people like their own little film crew, right, trying to capture all the action. Were you shocked, or were you kind of expecting, because they didn't clear out at 2 o'clock, they didn't listen to the president of the university, were you expecting it to escalate like that?
Honestly, nothing shocks me anymore. I feel like with every day, things become increasingly hostile. We see more and more instances of physical assault. We see more instances of harassment. I'm just not surprised at this point. I think these kids are brainwashed. I think they do all this under the guise of social justice, and they truly believe that they're liberating Palestine, but this does nothing for Palestinians. All it does is just polarize everyone on campus. It targets Jews, and this is probably the most destructive behavior one can do if they actually had the best interest of Palestinians in mind.
As a Jewish student who chose this university, I'm sure you had a lot of options, right? You guys spent a lot of money to come here, so do your parents. Do you wish you would have chosen Columbia University?
I mean, I made some great friends here. There are definitely some really cool people here, especially the international students. Shout out to them. Also, my Jewish friends. The Jewish community here is very strong. But yeah, I mean, I just want to be a college kid. I kind of regret coming here. I feel like I wasted a year of my life in a place that's rotting to its core, and it's frustrating.
What do you think about how the president of the university has handled it, and do you think she should step down?
I feel like I'm not that guy to comment on that. I don't know if she should step down, but I do think that she's been too diplomatic, too neutral, always extending the deadlines. There's a lot of lip service. She'll say things like, we don't tolerate speech that incites violence or harassment towards members of our community, but then, of course, every other day there's a chance to globalize the Intifada. There's a chance of death to the Zionist state. There's a chance of, we don't want no Zionists here. We want October 7th to happen over and over again. So it seems like the speech is in fact protected. It seems like Minu Shafiq is operating with lip service, and it's frustrating. I mean, I want people to wake up. This is insane. Like I laugh because I think it's ridiculous. It gets more and more absurd each day.
Yeah, well, and then if we want to take a look too, if we have that video, you guys, just from what's happening right on the campus still. So that 2 o'clock deadline hit yesterday. It's now been a full day past, and you can still see those tents set up. I don't know if you're taking a look at it right now, but you can see. I mean, they've only removed a few dozen tents. Do you think these students should be expelled?
These students should absolutely be expelled. I mean, imagine you had a bunch of white supremacist students chanting for, the death of black students on campus. What would happen to them? I think they'd be expelled immediately, and rightfully so. We see Kaimani James, who basically came under a lot of backlash recently for having a video where he chanted for Zionists to die and how Zionists don't deserve to live. And it took the university 3 months to kick this student off campus. That video, it came from 3 months ago in a meeting with university administrators in January. So, I mean, I don't really understand this double standard. It confuses me more and more each day. I know that if I was doing anything these students were doing, I'd come under deep trouble.
And we have a question too. Sandra, you can tell me, and then I'll tell him.
Incredibly powerful interview, Alexis. Thank you very much for bringing us Noam's words there. I mean, talking about questioning the intellectual and academic integrity of the very institution he said he worked his butt off to get into, and his parents paying for. Alexis, has he heard about any fellow students, getting expelled or suspended or facing any consequences whatsoever?
Of any students getting expelled or suspended yet? Has that been on social media? Have you heard about anyone in your class that's no longer to be at graduation, if you even have one?
I've heard that some students were suspended, but I heard that apparently from last night there's been no action taken against the students who assaulted the maintenance worker, the students who broke the window, the students who desecrated property. I mean, this is vandalism. These are crimes, right? So why are they not getting punished?
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, well, thanks for talking to us. I mean, that's kind of the sentiment, right? We've heard from